And all. Today we'll discuss the topic neural control and coordination and chemical control and coordination daily practice problems. In this, we'll try to discuss maximum as many questions as possible. Now, coming on to the first question, efferent nerve fibers carry impulses from. So already we know that we have three types of nerves. One are mixed nerves, one are efferent nerves. Efferent means motor nerves, also called as outgoing nerves, and efferent nerves, that is incoming nerves or sensory nerves or efferent nerves. So from the given options, efferent nerve fibers carry impulses from A. Efferent organs to CNS, receptors to CNS, CNS to receptors, CNS to muscles. So generally effector organs to CNS. So here nerves. So the effector organ will send the signals to the receptors. Receptors take this and convert this information and send to the brain. So brain is the main part. So when it is going to the brain, it is called as efferent. So that is incoming. So here probably the answer for this is it is receptors to CNS. Effector organ to receptors, receptor to CNS. So receptors, efferent nerve fibers carry impulses from receptors to CNS, and from CNS to receptors is efferent or motor neurons. Now, the nerve centers which control the body temperature and the urge of eating are contained in. So generally you are seeing the four options: A. Hypothalamus, B. Pons varolii, C. Cerebellum, D. Thalamus. Here hypothalamus is considered as a master of all glands, and it controls many functions like body temperature, emotions, urge of eating, water, drinking of water, that is thirst, and others is done by the hypothalamus. Pons caroli consist of the other centers which like emotions, voluntary motions, and cerebellum controls the other functions of the midbrain. So here hypothalamus, that is hypothetics. Hypothetics here: temperature, thirst, hunger, eat, urge of eating, emotions, involuntary functions, and sexual behavior will be controlled. So here hypothalamus will control all these functions. Rods and cones of eyes are modified. Multipolar neuron, unipolar neuron, bipolar neuron, none of this. Already we know that in the retina of eye we see a type of neuron called as bipolar neurons, that is one axon plus one dendrite will be present. So this bipolar neuron, generally the rods and cones of eyes are modified bipolar neurons. C option. Next, the nerve transmitter produced at the synapse and neurotransmitter junction is GTP, guanosine triphosphate, ATP, adenosine triphosphate, acetylcholine phosphatidylkinase. GTP is a neuroinhibitor, and ATP, adenosine triphosphate, energy currency. So already we know that nerve transmitter produced at the synapse and the neurotransmitter junction is already we know that is the acetylcholine. C option. Option C. Next, Alzheimer's disease in humans is associated with the deficiency of glutamic acid, acetylcholine, gamma aminobutyric acid, dopamine. So generally we see that whenever the neural transmission is stopped, the brain will not get the information. So Alzheimer's is because of the acetylcholine, which is a neurotransmitter which will be generally controlling the skeletal muscle action, as well as it also controls the smooth muscle and cardiac muscles. So here, as the Alzheimer's is because of the acetylcholine. So it will do all the functions and it will control the smooth muscles as well as the neural transmission. So Alzheimer's is associated with the, which is an example of conditioned reflex. Conditioned means learnt reflexes. Eyes closed when anything enter into eye. It is sudden, so it is not a conditioned reflex. Hand took up when piercing the needle. This is also a sudden action, so it is also a unconditioned reflex. Salivation in a hungry dog is response to the ringing of a bell. Di- Digestion food goes forward in alimentary canal. This is also a sudden and which our digestion is completely an involuntary process. So it is also not. Salivation in hungry by dog in response to ringing of bell, which was done by Ivan Pavlov, which is an example of learned reflexes or conditioned reflex for which he got the Nobel Prize. So here the answer for that is salivation or in a hungry dog in response to a bell is a conditioned reflex. The black pigment in the eye which reduces the internal reflection is located in retina, iris, cornea, sclerotic. Sclerotic is the upper layer, second is the choroid layer, third is the retinal layer. And retinal layer will be having it is just acting as a screen, and the black pigment, that is the dark spot or the black spot, is present where the nerves unite, and it is present in the retina of the eye. Retina of the eye. Which one of the following does not act as a neurotransmitter? Epinephrine, cortisone, norepinephrine, acetylcholine. So epinephrine, also called as norepinephrine. So these are the neurotransmitter, and acetylcholine is also, you know that it is also a neurotransmitter. Cortisone, which is produced from the adrenal gland, which is not a neurotransmitter. During the propagation of nerve impulse, the action potential results from the movement of K plus ions from extracellular fluid to intracellular fluid, Na plus ion from intracellular fluid to extracellular fluid, K plus ions from intracellular fluid to extracellular fluid, Na plus ions from extracellular fluid to intracellular fluid. So during, as already we have discussed, that the propagation of nerve impulse, the action potential results from the movement of the positively charged ions into the membrane. Simultaneously, the electron carrying the information will be moved in the frontward direction. For every movement of 3 Na plus ions inside to outside, outside to inside, or inside to outside, two K plus ions will move. At the same time, the negatively charged ions will move from the position where the information is carried. So here, generally during the propagation of nerve impulses, the action potential results from the movement of Na plus ions from outside to inside, that is more positively charged ions outside to the inside to move because of the displacement, that is the polarization and repolarization. So Na plus ions will be moved from the extracellular fluid to the intracellular fluid. So fourth option. Next, the cochlea of ear contains perilymph, aqueous humor, perilymph and endolymph, only endolymph. So generally eustachian tube, cochlea of ear contains perilymph outside the membrane and inside that endolymph is present. Perilymph is the fluid which is present around the cochlea in the inner bone, and endolymph it is present between the basilar membrane and the uh, basilar membrane as well as the tectorial membrane. So it is present in all the three layers of the eustachian canal. So your perilymph is present between these two. Perilymph and endolymph are present around the cochlea of the inner ear. Eustachian tube connects. Eustachian tube connects external ear with middle ear, external ear with internal ear, middle ear with pharynx, middle ear with pharynx, internal pharynx, internal pharynx. So here middle eustachian tube connects the middle ear at the end of the uh, tympanic membrane to the ear, which passes the extra sounds through the ear, and it also maintains the equilibrium. So it is a connecting link between the ear to the pharyngeal region. So here the eustachian membrane connects the middle ear with the pharynx. Mark the incorrect statement. The ear ossicle attached to the tympanic membrane is malleus. Opsin, Idopsin of cones, rhodopsin of rods. Opsin develops from vitamin A. The pressure on eardrum is equalized by the eustachian tube. Otolith organ consists of saccule and utricle. So here generally when you see that frequency of sound, mark the incorrect statement. The pressure on the eardrum is equalized by eustachian tube. So eustachian tube does not equalize that, but it passes away some extra information through these, and it is also maintained generally in the equilibrium. The pressure on the eardrum is not equalized by the eustachian, just it passes the extra information or unwanted information, but it will not be equalized by the eustachian tube. So answer is C. Next, frequency of sound is discriminated by sorry, 12th one. When you see on to the 12th one, the pressure on the the pressure on the eardrum is equalized by Eustachian rhodopsin of rods, rhodopsin of cones is generally the pigment present in the body, and it is not developed, but it is necessary to be maintained by vitamin A. So B option is the wrong option or incorrect statement. And frequency of sound is discriminated by the intensity of movement, the intensity of movement of basilar fibers of cochlea, the type of fluid, perilymph or endolymph, the site at the cochlear coil, all of these. So from the given options, if you see, frequency of sound is discriminated by generally the intensity of movement of basilar fibers of the cochlea, the type of fluid, perilymph and endolymph, the site at the cochlear coil. So it is discriminated generally at the last portion, that is the otolith organ as well as the organ of Corti. So the site of the cochlear coil only, this will be discriminated, that is C option. Next, which one of the following is the correct difference between rod cells and cone cells of our retina? So distribution, more concentration in the center of retina, eventually distributed all over the retina. Visual activity high, low. Visual pigment contained, rhodopsin consist of rods consist of rhodop. Rhodopsin and rhodopsin. Overall function, vision, rods as the pure vision and cones are responsible for the color vision. Generally distribution, more concentrated in the center of retina. Rods are not present in the retina, cone cells are more present. So the reverse of the options distribution wise, visual activity, cone vision is high and rod's vision is low, that is in the gray light. So option B is also wrong. Option C is visual pigment contained in the rods is rhodopsin and cones is rhodopsin. So fourth option is the appropriate option, which is having the correct, because rods are responsible for the poor vision and cones are responsible for the colored vision or bright vision. Now coming on to the next question. Salutary conduction of nerve impulse takes place through salutary conduction myelinated fiber. Salutary means fast conduction takes place generally through the non-myelinated fibers, gray fibers, none of these. From these options, salutary conduction or fast conduction takes place to the myelinated fiber. In which part of the brain corpora quadrigemina is located? Corpora quadrigemina, diencephalon, mesencephalon, prosencephalon, rhombencephalon. So generally in the case of the corpora quadrigemina is a connecting link between the hindbrain to the forebrain. So here corpora quadrigemina is a part of a mesencephalon or midbrain. Mesencephalon or midbrain. A person entering an empty room suddenly finds a snake right in front of an opening the door. Which one of the following is likely to happen in his neurohormonal system. A sympathetic nervous system is activated, releasing epinephrine and norepinephrine from adrenal medulla. Neurotransmitter diffuse rapidly across the cleft and transmit a nerve impulse. Hypothalamus activates the parasympathetic division of the brain. Sympathetic nervous system is activated, releasing epinephrine and norepinephrine from adrenal cortex. So generally, when you see the snake, we will get fear first. Means it is a concern to the sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system increases the particular phenomenon and it does certain functions related to that, and parasympathetic nervous system is opposite to that. So as a result of sympathetic nervous system activation, epinephrine, that is adrenaline, is produced first, or norepinephrine from the adrenal medulla, and that may act on the body to fear. So after some time the parasympathetic nervous system will act and decreases that phenomena. So your sympathetic nervous system is the most important functionality done in the after we see the snake. Next, the blind spot is the region where blind spot, also called as black spot, where image is not formed, because that is a connecting link, that is a optic nerves leaves out. As a result, no rods and cones are present. So it is also called as black spot, blind spot, or no vision spot. Here from the given option, the 18th one is C. In myopia short-sightedness, image is formed slightly in front of a retina because of eyeball is longer. Eyeball is normal but image is formed over blind spot. Eyeball is normal but images form slightly behind the retina due to the faulty lens. Curvature of the cornea becomes irregular. Myopia means they cannot able to see the shortest distance object, because image will be formed before the retina, not on the retina. So here image is formed slightly in front of the retina because eyeball is extended. So here the option A will be the right option. A is the right option. Next, 20. Sequence of meninges from inner to outside is. Sequence of meninges from inside to outside is. Already we know that dura mater, arachnoidal membrane, pia mater, or DAP, pia mater in the brain is. Meninges means it is covering up the brain. So it is from D outside, A inside, P below. So here from dura mater, arachnoidal membrane, pia mater, when you talk about this particular DAP, this is from outer to inner side. This is middle. Here only we will see that cerebrospinal fluid flows. So here pia mater should be inner side to outside, means this side to this side. So here the option is for this particular will be D option. D option, that is pia mater, arachnoidal membrane. 21. Among which one of the following groups of chemicals all are neurotransmitters? Glycine, dopamine, melatonin. These are not all the neurotransmitters. Somatostatin, serotonin, acetylcholine. Acetylcholine, somatostatin can be a neurotransmitters, but serotonin is a um, component hormone produced in the infections. Noradrenaline, somatine, threonine. Threonine is a amino acid. Okay, it is not directly the neurotransmitter. Here, acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter. Already we know noradrenaline, that is adrenaline is or norepinephrine is also a neurotransmitter, chemical transmitter. Dopamine is a component produced in the brain which is also, so D option. All acetylcholine, noradrenaline and dopamine are the neurotransmitters. The enzyme required for the conduction of nerve impulse across synapses. Peroxidase, choline acetylase, the enzyme responsible for the conduction of cross synapses. Choline acetylase, acetylcholine is the enzyme required for the activation of the is ascorbic acid oxidase succinic dehydrogenase. Peroxidase, ascorbic acid oxidase succinic, these are the not the human neurotransmitters or enzymes responsible for the neuro. So here choline acetylase is the hormone. Next, the purplish red pigment rhodopsin contained in the rods. The purplish reddish pigment rhodopsin contained in the rods type of photoreceptor cells of the human eye is a derivative of obviously vitamin A, 23 vitamin A. Because these are all the derivative pigments of that. During stress conduction, which of the following nerves start working during stress? Sympathetic nerves, parasympathetic nerves, autonomic nerves, cranial nerves. Stress means fear, some type of, so your sympathetic nervous system is the responsible for that. The gelatinous membrane covering the sensory hair cells of the ear is known as resinous membrane, tectorial membrane, basilar membrane, neurosensory membrane. Here, the gelatinous membrane covering the sensory hair cells of the is called as a tectorial membrane, which is present covering the organ of Corti. 26th. Now cells do not divide because they do not have 26th nucleus, centrosome, Golgi body, mitochondria. Generally, nerve cells do not divide during their lifetime once they are differentiated at the embryonic stages, because they will be consisting of nucleus, and they also has the Nissl granules. Nissl granules are the modified Golgi apparatus. Except these, none other mitochondria are also present, but other cell organelles are absent for the division, that is including the centrosome is also from the given options. Centrosome is not present in the case of nerve cell. Reflex arc, which involve no processing in the brain, are beneficial because they permit. A reflex arc means a sudden discontinuous action, instantaneous signaling to motor neurons, avoidance of danger stimuli even without a previously learned response, immediate response to dangerous stimuli because their reflex arcs are itself, which is a painful situation in the which involve no processing in the brain or beneficial because they permit from the above all the learned unlearned actions which are dangerous to the body. So here all the above options, that is a b c d c options are included in that reflex arc. Drugs that alter the permeability of the plasma membrane of a neuron have which of the following effects on the nerve impulse conduction? They prevent movement of sodium and potassium ions into and out of the cell, thereby stopping transmission of the impulse. They primarily affect conduction along the axon. They prevent the release of neurotransmitter at the synapses. All the above. Here also when we see that drugs that alter the permeability of the plasma membrane of a neuron have which of the following effects on the nerve impulse conduction? So the prevent movement of sodium, and so it is also right. The primarily affect conduction along the axon, that also right. They prevail the release of neurotransmitter. So here all the above options are right. Next, the local depolarization of a receptor cell membrane is called as inhibitory postsynaptic potential, that is IPSP, or P option action potential, C resting potential, D threshold potential. So the local depolarization of a receptor cell membrane is called as action potential. The disturbance created in a body because of local depolarization because of a effect of stimuli is called as action potential. So this is a alternative term for action potential, that is B. Next, action potentials travel along a neuron because the nerve cytoskeleton conducts electricity as long as an ion gradient is maintained by the sodium potassium pumps. The cytoplasmic streaming within the neuron, they are pulled along by a positive negative attraction. Depolarization of a membrane at one point causes an increase of permeability to sodium. At the next point, increase of permeability to the sodium at the next point. Depolarization of a membrane at one point causes an increase of permeability to sodium at the next point. When you look on to the nerve impulse transmission, when you see the nerve impulse, when a affection, that is action potential, is generated by the receptor cells at a particular point A, the movement of electrons from a point B to A occurs. As a result, the opening of the gated channels will enter inside, then immediately as potassium ions are permeable and does not need, so they move out. So there is a depolarization will be moving from the B point to A point, and the inside of the membrane it is from the A point to the B point, the movement of impulses. So here D option, that is depolarization of membrane at one point causes an increase of permeability of to sodium at the next point, that is point B. So D option. The remaining questions you try to so now we are talking about the chemical control and coordination. In this DPP, we'll try to discuss some questions related to that. Okay, which hormone possesses anti-insulin effect? Anti-insulin means which is acting against the insulin. So that is uh, conversion of the glycogen into glucose is done by that hormone. From the given questions, the hormone responsible for that function is cortisol, which is produced. So cortisol is produced by the cortex of the adrenal gland, and it will be the others will not have that anti-insulin effect except cortisol, which is helpful in the conversion of the increasing of the blood glucose level. So here cortisol is responsible for the anti-insulin effect. Which of the following is both exocrine and endocrine gland? You know that exocrine and endocrine gland is also called as pancreas, because the external part of the pancreas will do the digestive functions producing pancreatic juice. Internal part will produce the insulin and glucagon. In that, alpha cells produce insulin, beta cells will produce glucagon, and the delta cells will be producing somatostatin. So your answer is exocrine and endocrine is pancreas. Chemically, hormones are chemically, when you talk about the hormones, chemically hormones are the proteins, modified proteins, and which have the enzymatic activity. All hormones are proteins, but all proteins are not hormones, already we know. So chemically hormones are generally proteins. Because they are the derivatives of the proteins only. The blood calcium level is lowered by the deficiency of parathormone, thyroxine, both calcitonin and parathormone, calcitonin. So here the blood calcium level is lowered by the deficiency of parathormone, because calcium regulation is done by the parathyroid hormone in the body. So that is the major function, and if the deficiency of the calcium in the body, that is maybe because of the parathormone hormone, option A. Next, the technique used for the estimation of minute amounts of hormones and drugs is called as electrophoresis, electroencephalogram, fractionization, radioimmunoassay. Here, the technique used for the estimation of minute amounts of hormones and drugs is called as radioimmunoassay. By using the certain radiochemical components, the immunological competency is analyzed. So the electrophoresis is generally to identify the DNA fragments. Electroencephalogram is meant for identifying the brain and its functionality by using the electrical diodes. Fractionation means splitting of chemicals, but here using of trace amounts for analyzing the hormones and different is called as, that is a technique called as radioimmunoassay. Testosterone is produced by testosterone, already you know that is a, already we have discussed in the human reproduction. Testosterone is produced by leading cells of the intestine, are also called as the interstitial cells. So Sertoli cells, B. Leading cells. C. Oxantic cells. D. Oxantic cells are also called as peptic cells concerned to the digestive system. Sertoli cells are also called as nurture cells present on the second layer of the spermatogonias meant for producing the ICSH interstitial stimulating hormone, that is also called as LH hormone in the males, and pituitary gland, it is produced by the leading cells of the also called as interstitial cells. Which one of the following pairs correctly matches a hormone with a disease resulting from its deficiency? Deficiency diseases. Already we know certain deficiency diseases: luteinizing hormone, failure of ovulation, insulin, diabetes insipidus, thyroxine tetani, parathyroid, diabetes mellitus. So from the given questions, correctly matches hormone with a disease resulting from its deficiency. Insulin causes diabetes mellitus, not insipidus. Diabetes insipidus is because of vasopressin deficiency. So insulin, diabetes, insipidus wrong. Thyroxine leads to cretinism, or the tetany is caused by parathyroid hormone. So here in thyroxine, cretinism, or because of the thyroid hormone, simple goiter. So here tetany wrong. Parathyroid diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus is caused by insulin failure. So parathyroid, tetany, thyroxine, simple goiter, cretinism, and insulin, diabetes mellitus. So here luteinizing hormone failure leads to the ovulation, failure of ovulation. Here the right correctly matching means seventh option, E, failure of ovulation. Which one of the following is not a second messenger in hormone action? Calcium, sodium, CAMP, CGMP. Which one of the following is not a second messenger in hormone action? When you see here, all the others are secondary messengers like calcium, cyclic amploxin monophosphate, C cyclic uh, monophosphate, glucosinate. So here these three, calcium is a secondary messenger, CAMP, GMP are the messengers, and sodium is the nerval. So it is not the secondary, it is primary messenger. Which of the following statements regarding glucagon is false? It is secreted by alpha cells of Langerhans. It acts as antagonistically to insulin. It decreases blood sugar level. The gland responsible for the secretion is heterocrine gland. So neurons regulate endocrine activity but not vice versa. Endocrine glands regulate neural activity and nervous system regulates endocrine glands. Neither hormones control neural activity nor the neurons control the endocrine activity. Endocrine glands regulate neural activity but not vice versa. So from the given question, when you see that the statement for is correct. We need to, from the ninth question, sorry, coming to the ninth question. It is secreted by alpha cells of islet of Langerhans. It acts antagonistically to insulin. The gland responsible for secretion is a heterocrine gland. So your pancreas is responsible. It is a heterocrine gland, and it decreases blood sugar. That is the effect of the. It increases the blood sugar level. This is done by the insulin to maintain the blood sugar level. So C option is the false option related to the glucagon. Which of the following statements is correct? So 10th question, when you check, neurons regulate endocrine activity but not vice versa. Neurons regulate endocrine activity, endocrines, so it is also called as a neuroendocrine system. And we'll see the endocrine glands regulate neural activities. B option is right. Neither hormones control neural activity nor the neurons control endocrine activity. Both control each other. Neurons regulate hypo. So here, which one is right? Neurons regulate, that is neuroendocrinal system, but generally endocrine system may control, may not control, so it is not a vice versa process. Here the option here is A is right. Match the source gland with the respective hormone as well as the function correctly. Here, anterior pituitary oxytocin, contraction of uterus muscles during childbirth. Oxytocin, the function is right, but it is produced from posterior pituitary. So, in order to understand this question, and growth hormone, adrenocorticotropin, prolactin, thyroid stimulating hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, these are produced by the anterior pituitary, and melatonin is produced by the neurohypophysis or posterior intermediate pars, this intermedia of posterior pituitary, and oxytocin vasopressin is produced by posterior pituitary. So oxytocin is not produced by anterior pituitary, so first option wrong. Corpus luteum, estrogen. Corpus luteum produces progesterone. So estrogen wrong, so this option is wrong. Thymus produces tyrosome, reduces blood calcium level. Thyroid hormone is produces thyroxine. Blood calcium level is maintained by parathyroid gland. So B option, it is produced by posterior pituitary, that is vasopressin, and stimulates the reabsorption, that is acts on the kidneys. So B option is the right option. Next, which of the following is correct? Iodine is needed for thyroxine formation. Calcium regulates the excitability of the nerve fibers. Potassium plays an important role in the regulation of acid base balance in the cell. Phosphorus helps in the maintain the osmotic pressure of the body fluids. So when you see onto the 12, incorrect option. Phosphorus helps in the maintenance of osmotic pressure of the body fluids. So it helps in the other activities. Ionic balance, not osma. So here phosphorus helps in the, this is the incorrect option. Option D is the right option. Next, Sertoli cells are found in ovaries and secrete progesterone, adrenal cortex and secrete adrenaline, seminiferous tubules and provide nutrition to the germ cell, pancreas and secrete choleocytokinin. Already we know that the Sertoli cells are the second layer present in the seminiferous tubules and which are nurturing in nature. So C option. Next, 14th one, the phase of menstrual cycle in humans that lasts for 7 to 8 days is first 1 to 3 or 5 days menstrual phase or menstruation, from 3 to 13 days is follicular development phase or follicular phase. 13 to 15 day ovulation, 15 to 28 days luteal phase, or also called as a secretory phase. So from these 7 to 8 days means that is the 3 to 13 days almost, or 5 to 13 days, that is the 7 to 8 days. So it is the follicular phase or developmental phase. Blood glucose level in man is regulated by, blood glucose level in man regulated means maintenance is done by the adrenaline, insulin, glucagon and insulin. So here generally 15th one, when you see that, so one increases that, one decreases that. So to maintain both are required. So insulin and glucagon is the answer, C option. Which of the following glands grows to the maximum size at puberty and then diminishes gradually? Already you know that thymus gland, which is present near to the heart, is generally, for that reason only, when thymus gland is there, the immunity power also decreases in the old men. So here the gland responsible for the grows till puberty and diminishes after that is thymus gland. A option. A option. Hypoglycemic hormone. The other name of the insulin is also called as hyperglycemic hormone, that is reducing the sugar content. So to reduce that, the other name of the insulin is called as hypoglycemic. Option A. Which of the following diseases is caused by under secretion of cortisol? 18. Anemia, Addison's disease, hyperglycemia, mental illness or retardation. Hyp- so cortisol, because of the cortisol, Addison's disease, that is the controlling of the hormone secretion. So Addison's disease, B option. Already we know that glycogen is converted to glucose by glu- glycogen is converted into glucose by glucose glycogenesis process, which is also called this is done by the hormone glucagon. So this is converted into cholesterol or animal glycogen or animal starch. A decrease in the level of estrogen and progesterone causes growth and dilation of myometrium, growth of endometrium, constriction of uterine blood vessels leading to sloughing of endometrium or uterine epithelium, release of ovum from the ovary. Constriction, so growth and dilation of myometrium, growth of endometrium, constriction of uterine blood vessels leading to sloughing of endometrium or uterine equilibrium, release of ovum from the ovary. A decrease in the level of estrogen and progesterone causes. So here possibility will be the third option, that is the constriction of uterine blood vessels leading to the sloughing of endometrium or uterine epithelium growth. Here, because of these two hormones, the endometrium increasing and decreasing takes place. So here probably the third option will take place, that is C option. C option. Which of the following is a mineralocorticoid? Mineral containing corticoid. Calciferol. Calciferol, the other name of the vitamin D is called calciferol. Calciferol means vitamin D. And progesterone is a hormone. This is a steroidal hormone and it is generally produced from the ovary. Aldosterone, adrenaline is also called as F and F hormone. And 21, coming on to the 21, already we know that aldosterone, so it is a steroidal hormone and it is produced by the adrenal medulla, adrenal cortex, and it is a mineralocorticoid. So D option, aldosterone. Next, which hormone interacts with the membrane bound receptor and does not normally enter the target cell? Which hormone interacts with the membrane bound receptor and does not normally enter the target cell? Follicle stimulating hormone, estrogen, thyroxine, cortisol. Here, which hormone interacts with the bone? So it is the follicle stimulating hormone which is responsible, interacts with the uterine wall, ovarian wall, and start the process of initiation of the ovum development. So here it is the follicle stimulating hormone. The 24-hour rhythm of our body, such as sleep wake cycle, is regulated by the hormone A. Adrenaline, B. Melatonin, C. Calcitonin, D. Prolactin. Adrenaline, calcitonin. So sleep wake cycle or diurnal rhythm is concerned to the melanocyte stimulating hormone. The melatonin is responsible for body pigmentation, circadian rhythm or the 24-hour cycle. So here option B is responsible for that. Next, steroid hormones transmit their information by steroidal hormones generally passes their information by stimulating the receptors present on the cell membrane, entering into the cell and modifying cellular contents, entering into the cell and modifying nuclear organization, the help of intracellular secondary messengers. Steroidal hormones obviously passes the information first to the membrane. Here that will be carried by the secondary messengers like CGMP, and that will trigger the nucleus. Nucleus will in turn trigger the process. So generally will activate first the primary receptors. Primary receptors activate the secondary messengers. Primary messengers will, so D option. 25th one, increase in bleeding time and delay in blood coagulation is due to the deficiency of which hormone? Generally, adrenaline is concerned to the stress and strain hormone. Noradrenaline is a concern to the adrenaline because they are produced in the kidney, and parathormone. So parathormone is responsible. Parathyroid gland is responsible producing the parathormone. Parathormone will control the calcium regulatory metabolism. So here C option, because it is responsible for the blood coagulation also, or maintaining the calcium regulation in the body. Next, estrogen and testosterone are steroidal hormones and most likely bind to membrane ion channels, enzyme linked membrane receptors, G protein coupled membrane receptors, cytoplasmic receptors. Estrogen and testosterone are steroidal hormones and mostly concerned to the cytoplasmic reactors. That is they pass the information up to the membrane. Membrane will take the information passed through the secondary messengers. So this information will be only passed up to the cytoplasma or the plasma membrane of a particular organ. So these are completely a cytoplasmic receptors. D option. 27. The only unicellular exocrine glands in our body are sweat glands, mucus secreting goblet cells, sebaceous mammary glands, sebaceous glands. When you see the sweat glands, mammary glands and sebaceous glands are the sweat glands. The name of the sweat glands is the oil glands. Sebaceous glands is oil glands. So here only the unicellular exocrine glands present in our body are present inside the upper layers of the sweat, and these are called as the mucus secreting goblet cells, which are present in the digestive system. So these goblet cells are responsible for the production of mucus in the intestinal inner layers. Here option mucus secreting goblet cells, B option. Steroids based hormones are able to act inside the cell. This is possible because there are no receptors for hormones on the cell surface. Hormones must interact with the nucleus to have an effect. Protein carry them into the cell. Steroid based hormones are hydrophobic molecules that can pass through the cell membrane. Steroid based hormones are able to act inside the cell. This is possible because they are hydrophobic water hating molecules, so they pass through the cell membrane through the secondary messenger and they can act on the particular, so it is the D option. Every time you eat a cookie or candy bar, your blood sugar increases. This triggers an increase in the hormone. So here, when you see onto this, already blood sugar level in our body is maintained by insulin. It regulates, means it maintains the blood sugar, means it decreases from high amount. So here the option is insulin will be acting, and insulin body triggers target cells, means where the hormone will act, which cells the hormone so act are called target cells. Generally the target cells will, what are the different types of react specifically to a chemical messenger, have receptors for chemical messengers, secrete hormones. So here inducer effector organ also called as the target cells. Generally they have a specific chemical messengers and they will be only reacting to that specific messengers. So obviously option A and B, target cells will have specific receptors and they act for the specific chemical messengers only, like triggering of ovulation only after adolescence. So that time only that action will take place, both A and B, D option. So the remaining questions you can do by yourself.